We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good AFC matchup in store between the Cleveland Browns and the New England Patriots. Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. First carry now for Nick Chubb. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Here's Hill. He finds his man, complete. That's Schwartz. So a nice throw right there. And this, we all know, a big test for this young man at quarterback. He guided his team into the playoffs as a wild card. And now here he is on the road looking to get his guys to the 2nd round. And it's certainly a tough task no matter how you slice it.
Oh, I absolutely agree 100%. And while no one around the franchise is going to, co-sign on what I'm about to say, because all they're focused on is winning this game. But let's face it, partner, no matter what happens in this one, they've got their quarterback to build their roster around for the future. That's got to feel good for everyone associated with this team.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
At the 34-yard line.
Now it's Hill. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Julian Love. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. And certainly, look, you're on the road in the playoffs. That is a suboptimal start, opening drive INT.
And, partner, sometimes I wonder, do these teams talk about it to such an extent that maybe you almost talk yourself into the turnover when you're trying to avoid it?
Yeah, maybe they get a little too worried about keeping the football, and then you give it to the other team right off the bat. And, look, we said it, on the road, this is just a terrible, terrible start for them.
It is, and now they've got to rely on their defense.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Jones. He's got the first down inside the 10. And all the way down to the 5.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
So 1st and goal and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game. Now Jones. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Looking to throw. Jones. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Jones. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. So a big sack for a loss of 4. It brings up 4th and goal. And this one is right through. Every possession in the postseason magnified. And look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit. So every point is precious.
From the 6. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Browns drive about to get started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
On 2nd down and 4, Hill. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson, the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. And we'll see if that pick 6 looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome? But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Browns drive about to get started. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, we just saw something you don't ordinarily see, and that's him trying to deep ball after throwing a pick 6 on his previous pass. Normally, they give him something safe to get his confidence back. Instead, they let him fire it downfield, albeit unsuccessfully.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd down.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Two yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Well, Charles, you talk about this offense, and you think about the man in charge, their head coach, this marking his first ever playoff game as the head coach, and you wonder what's going through his mind right about now.
Brandon, I think we both agree that he's had a great season, and we wouldn't be surprised at all to see him get plenty of Coach of the Year votes. I thought he took the right tone in his weekly press conference, though. Played it cool, took the reserved angle, and when you don't have the track record, I think that's the exact right way to do it. You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And to give this time to the tailback. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well. 10-0 the score after one on EA Sports. A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Chubb will get the call, running left. And he's brought down. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And the Browns have cut it back within a score. Oh, he missed it. No good. So this remains a 4-point game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Here's Smith to return it. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Second and 8 coming up. Looking to throw. Jones. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there of finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there, because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistently, they're tough to beat.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 39-yard line. Now they'll toss to Jones running left. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on the 9 over there. You're on the 9. Check down the 6.
Looking to throw. Jones. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 22-yard line.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
From the 16, Jones. And it's caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Hunter Henry. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Extra point through the snowflakes. Something good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Browns drive about to get started. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll fake the handoff. Now Hill. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. On 2nd and 12, Hill. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Hill now to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage excellent there downfield, and it leads to a fourth down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a third interception in half number 1. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way they go.
Yeah, but to this point, it certainly hasn't been broke. We'll see if they try to fix anything. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football.
And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Back to throw. Jones. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Looking to throw. Jones. It's caught. It's Miller. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 4th down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. Here's Smith to return it. And able to get this out to the 25. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the running a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. This is Jones. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
from the 30 on second down. Jones. Open man here, the tight end Henry. Touchdown! Hunter Henry. His second touchdown of the night. And the Patriots continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. He'll buy some time right. He's going to air one out for Anderson. He's got it at the 15. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. A big play that time for Cleveland.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on third and goal. Chubb again, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with his second touchdown of the night, and the Browns get a score closer. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Now the Browns offense will stay on the field as they'll go for 2 here. Here's Chubb to try to run it in. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's Smith to return it. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
49, guys. Mike, 49.
From the gun, Jones. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play there for the Patriots.
He was not the primary target. They expected to get the ball downfield. Instead, checked it down. An old coach of mine used to say to us all the time, when they check it down, that should end the down. In this case, though, he foiled that in a big way and turned it into a big play.
They'll run on first down. It's Jones. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Ronald Jones, 27 yards. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. To try here for the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
On 2nd and 12, Hill. He finds his man, complete. That's Schwartz. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Try to lay one up deep. And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. 44 yards. And the Browns are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Now the Browns offense will stay on the field as they'll go for 2 here. They'll try and run it here. And he's going to get in for the score. And the lead now cut to 14. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jones firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon. But with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. They'll run it with Jones. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948, Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
Most famous one in my lifetime, I think, is got to be 01, right? Raiders, Patriots, to send the Patriots to the Super Bowl.
The tuck roll, didn't you? Yeah, I think that's one people remember. I also know this. In Miami, the infamous one, the snowplow game in New England, when they went out there and the Patriots had a guy come out and clear a spot on the field for their field goal kicker to kick the game winner.
Was that 82?
That was 82. And the Dolphins fans will never forget it.
Well, we're not seeing one of those famous games here, but it's fun to be in the snow nonetheless. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Browns have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Here's Chubb to try to run it in. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And they are looking good. A 2-score lead here in this fourth quarter as they hope to capture a spot in the divisional round next weekend. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. Fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line is really hunkered down. And
now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. Hands it off out of the gun. Jonathan Jones there to make the stop.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Hill. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Hill. He finds his man. Complete. It's Schwartz. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Second and 8. Now Hill. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Julian Love picks it. There he goes, right side. 30. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And the fumble recovery was an important first step, but still a huge fourth quarter hole to dig out of. Down 3 scores. Now Hill, fresh off the pick six, eluding the pressure right. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. On first down, it's Jones. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 116 yards rushing for him now as he has been a central figure in trying to get his guys to the second round. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. A give to Jones. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Back to throw. Jones. This is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Hunter Henry saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Patriots add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And at this point, maybe you say, you know, it was a good effort really just to make the playoffs. They couldn't win their division, but did earn a wild card berth. It does appear, however, that their season is just a few minutes away from ending in one-and-done fashion. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Here's Hill. This is Anderson over the middle. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. 3rd and 2. Hill. He's going to let it fly. And got his man complete. And he gets this deep into Patriot territory. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. One last throw here for Hill. And now here's another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Patriots come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. And losing in this wild card round, you know, they've got something to build on, though, for next year, but I don't know if they want to hear that right now.
Maybe not at the moment, but once they get away from it a little bit and they get into their off-season program, And they'll start to talk about that, and I like how you framed it. Building blocks, building this program up. And one of my favorite coaches always talks about brick by brick, you build a program. And this is one of those bricks to build them towards the next season where they think they have a chance to advance farther in the playoffs.